Everyone ready? Call to order.
Sure.
Will we please stand for a silent reflection and pledge allegiance? Pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jay, can you do roll call?
Mrs. Cynthia?
I'm here.
Mrs. King?
Here.
Mr. O'Brien?
Here.
Mr. Schuler? Here. Mr. Tinkin?
Here.
Mr. Warbach? Mayor Mechanic?
Okay, would you read the Open Public Meetings law?
Yes, pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this special meeting has been provided via fax to the Co-Star of the Asbury Park Press. The purpose of tonight's meeting will include review of the 2014 municipal budget and related matters, proposed park improvements, and such matters as may become before the governing body. Formal action may be taken.
Good. Thank you. Jay, there's no approval of minutes tonight. We don't have any presentations, but we do have two discussion items.
That's correct.
And the first one will be by Joe May. We'll discuss the bids on the park improvement projects. Joe?
Good evening. We received bids for the Monmouth County Open Space Grant to the improvement of Ocean Road Park and Lair Road Park on March 20th. We had 7 bidders submit, and in the letter dated March 31st from my office, there's a bid tabulation which represents the short version. You have the long version in front of you. The low bidder for what we plan to award, which essentially is both base bids plus alternate B, C, and D. And just to clarify, alternate A was leaving a portion of the top lot in Lair Road Park, and alternate B was replacing all the equipment. If you look at our breakdown on alternate A, you will see that alternate A and B, if you look at the prices between the two, it was the decision to go forward with replacing the equipment because just doing a portion of the equipment, the prices were within less than 5% of either alternate, so we want to rip it out. We had a feeling that was going to happen because we were doing drainage under the existing equipment, and that was going to be more costly to do. But at the same time, we wanted to see if, in fact, we would save some dollars and could save some of the equipment. So just to review this once again, we're awarding a base bid for Lair Road Park. That's going to be resurfacing the basketball courts, resurfacing the tennis courts, putting new fence fabric around the tennis courts, a new top lot structure where the existing top lot structure is, replacing the swings, adding a hood on the backstop on the front field, adding removable benches or portable benches for the players, adding a new pitcher's mound and home plate, adding some drainage along the southern boundary of the field to improve the drainage, milling and overlaying the parking lot, removing those 6 trees between the curb and sidewalk along the Lair Road, which has ruined the parking lot. Ocean Road base bid is mill and pave the parking lot, resurface the basketball courts, put some benches in, and that's the base bid there. Alternate B is the top lot, Tops Ridge play structure and a double base swing, essentially. Alternate C is the baseball field improvements, and alternate D is upgrading the bathroom at Ocean Road Park to make it handicap compliant, putting a soffit on the building, because now we have a pine on the soffit. We have to paint it every year, it's rotting, so we want to put vinyl on that. Painting the building, taking out some of those broken concrete areas around the monument and kind of neatening that up a little bit. We put some trees and we saw cut the concrete. It could be removed and neatened up there. So once again, the base bid is 300, and the base bid plus the alternates we just discussed is $351,000. The second bidder was $387. The third bidder was $397, and so forth. I did speak with the contractor. I did call references in other towns and other engineers that worked with this contractor. I did not get any negative responses. They were all positive. The contractor indicated to me he'd be able to start in early May. That being said, we'd probably be done late July, early August. Do you have any further questions?
Yeah, Joe, can you just remind everybody where these funds are coming from and things like that?
We have $188,000 we received from Monmouth County in 2011, and the remainder of funds are from the open space, I believe, is where the remaining funds are coming from.
Right, and this project's been on in the works for quite some time, since we first got the grant.
Yes, yeah, it got sidetracked after
Sandy.
and then change of council also had a slight effect on it, but we're going to break ground soon.
Hey, Joe, do you mind if I open it up to council questions?
Sure.
Anybody? Comments or questions?
I just have a problem with the question with the insurance.
Yeah,
As
and
far
I
as
spoke
you
with
know.
Councilman Cynthia, and I'm going to review the insurance requirements that the state requires for the public-state contract, and review, make sure that we feel we're covered vertically in different aspects, and also the borough attorney. So,
Yeah, what I would like to see is the additional insured endorsement. I would like to make certain that we're additional insured, and I would like to actually see the additional insured endorsement on the individual policies if possible. And that should be a regular request.
Okay.
So, all right?
not a problem.
Yeah, and typically, the bid specifications include the insurance, the minimum insurance requirements, and as part of the contract award process, the contractor would be submitting various items, including their insurance submissions, as well as any other either performance or maintenance bond
Well,
information.
normally, don't they only supply the certificate of insurance, not, and I wanted to actually see the endorsement for an additional insured.
Okay.
You can get a copy of that.
That, specific,
Yeah.
additional insured endorsement to make certain that there's no way that they exclude us for the.
That's fine. The broker will just
Coverage
draw
is
that up
fine.
and send it to us, right?
And I do know that we have standard language that covers myself,
Right.
and I'll make sure that, that everyone and as high level we need, that we want, will have it in there.
It should be noted also that, as Mr. May has indicated, there were 7 bids. There were a number of what I would call discrepancies in the bid in terms of the calculations that were submitted by the contractors. All of those have been reviewed and they're outlined on the bid tabulation form, although none of those errors in calculation impacted the apparent low bid. Additionally, it would be pointed out that the funding, as Joe's indicated, is in place. It is a 50% match for the construction costs. The borough is picking up the additional costs for the contract administration as well as the design of this project. One further element here is that Joe's mentioned the contract includes the installation of playground equipment. In order to save money, the contractor will not be purchasing the equipment. Rather, we're purchasing the equipment under state contract, and the bid project will include the installation of that equipment.
Yeah, if I may follow up a little bit on that, Jay. The equipment that was selected subtotaled $66,000 roughly. We did select some equipment that had a 20% discount, so that was an additional discount of $11,838. Then we had freight back in for delivery, which is another $4,900. So essentially, there's a $6,000 savings by picking out of the box structures. Originally, we looked at having something specifically designed by Game Time for the borough. Those costs, quite frankly, weren't worth what they were doing. We looked at putting the ship together, having a ship team, and it was over $100,000 for a piece of plow equipment, which I don't think the borough could justify.
Joe, on the Alair Road Park, because I'm over there a lot with my grandkids, where the swing sets are, that's a big dip in there.
Yeah,
And when the rain is very heavy, the water lays in there and the kids can't use the swing sets.
yeah,
Is that gonna be
That's
evened
part of the
out?
project, right?
it's gonna be evened out up to the tennis court elevation, but we're gonna have drains put in underneath there. That's one of the
Okay,
main things. What happened with the mulch, in those is it gets wet, dry, it rots.
Right.
You wanna keep it dry. So when, our firm designs hot lots, we put under drain in. It makes you don't get the weed growth, you don't get the rot. You do have to replace it every so often, you have to maintain it. But at the same time, it lasts longer than just putting a top lot on the ground. They don't last. They basically rot over time, mulch.
Okay,
Just like it does in, the compost piles
right.
that don't, drain.
And then
That
my
will
other
be
question,
addressed.
my other question for you is at Ocean Road. I've had some people that coach different teams over there for the schools and stuff have made comments about the bathroom over there, how in disgusting condition it is. If we're gonna go into, redoing all of this and putting all of this money in to it, who cleans those bathrooms and how often are they cleaned?
Well, I think just.
Didn't we already update them?
We, Alair Road Park, we just updated those.
Oh, not-
And
not-
we're doing the exact same improvements that were just done at Alair, if you're familiar with those bathrooms.
Yeah.
That's how they're gonna look when they're done.
Right,
The problem we have at Ocean Road is the kids fit in that one block that's out, believe it or not. The kids fit in there, so that's where we get most of our damage, is when they're locked.
And they crawl in.
And they crawl in and they do damage.
okay,
That's gonna be sealed up, just so you understand that, but my understanding is, believe it or not, the kids crawl through the 8 by 16 inch slot, which,
Yeah, kind of like Escape from Alcatraz.
yes, it must be a game they play, so.
okay. Well,
Okay.
like I say, some people have mentioned it to me and they said it's just disgusting. The kids that are playing games and stuff over there, ball games,
Yeah.
they just won't use it.
I do know the Mech maintain, the other bathrooms, I'm not quite sure, but I would probably, if I had to say, we would attribute that to.
It would be our guys.
Oh yeah, our DPW does that.
Okay.
We maintain those,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
So,
Heather, oh, go ahead.
okay, so just to confirm, it was B, C, and D, the
Yes.
alternates that we're accepting?
Yes,
And the $351,000 does not include this $59,000?
correct.
Okay, and then so the $59,000 plus the difference between 351 and 180 is what's coming out of the open space?
Yes.
Okay,
And just so you understand, originally we budgeted, $375 for construction costs.
okay.
And these, the toys or the playground equipment,
Yep.
that was all, that was selected. When you say saddle made purple, I mean, do we have an idea to see what that looks like, or
Yeah, I have photographs of everything, I have catalog cuts of all the equipment.
is that like a circular thing that goes around, or, you have a dinosaur saddle made purple, dinosaur
Those are the Rocky.
race car saddle made?
Hey, Joe, do you want to just bring the pictures to the next meeting?
Sure, yeah.
Bring the pictures and the insurance certificate to the next meeting, and
Only because I'm just worried about insurance, because I have so
we'll take a
many
look.
playground insurance claims.
Okay, no
You
problem.
know, and also-
This is standard rock equipment that we have in the community. It's
Yeah.
the same dinosaur that's in the community center, and it's the same, I believe they have the taxi at the community center. This is the cars, that's what these are, the little car rocky
It's on the
cars.
same,
They're on a spring, and
Yeah.
there's the two people go in them.
Right,
The two bay prime time swing is a double bay swing,
Mhm.
and the one bay has 2 seats, solid seats, not the belt seats. And the other one has, they call them zero gravity chairs. These are for handicapped kids from 0 to 5 and from 5 to 12 with an overhead harness that locks in between their legs. So if you have a handicapped kid, they can use a swing set.
what's the base of the playground? Is that wood
It's
chips?
all gonna be mulch.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all planned to be mulch.
Do we have enough room though for it to be
All that, what's there now is being
Excavation.
entirely removed.
Well,
So,
well, that's what's important for the insurance too, because we need to make certain we have a completed operation, so there's coverage for us as additional insurance after they leave the premises?
Well, once they have to submit to me
For
a
10 years.
a certified installation certificate when they're completed before I'll sign off on the work. And when they do that, I also, before I sign off, we'll call our JIF inspector, and he'll come down and review the work as well.
Okay.
And they'll make sure that everything is compliant, and that's typically the procedure that happens.
Yeah, but sometimes you have a construction defect claim that happens, 5 years later, as you know,
Yep.
in engineering. You just want to make sure that you have the coverage in place.
We do, the most we can do, we require certified installers. If you look at our bid tab result, the sixth bidder, World Construction, is actually the sub for the low bidder to put the equipment in. World Construction probably does 99% of the game time, and the Tot Structure Installation, Monmouth, Ocean, and Middlesex County. They're in the process now of moving all the structures on Belmore Beach. That they were put in 2 months ago, and they're putting, I'm not sure what, let me refrain, they're moving them for some reason, and, but Jim Davidson will doing that, he's going to be the certified installer for Morris Reno. And I'd be happy to go, once again, go to the catalog cut, show you the equipment. Just so you understand, we're keeping the same color schemes as the community center, as far as green post, tan decks, so it's green and tan, so it'll be
Uniform.
similar to what's in the community center.
So, Joe, I guess to make it simple, before the next meeting on April 14th,
Yep.
could you just have that information available? And
Yeah,
anybody who
well,
wants to
I'll-
go see it, they can just go see it with you?
I'll put a board together.
No, just have the catalog and the insurance certificate at your desk, and whoever wants to see it can go look at it.
Okay,
Keep it simple.
okay, no problem.
Are you gonna put a fence around the tot lots?
We talked about it, I don't think it works well in the railroad park. We can add it if you like, because there are some items that we won't be doing, such as the infield mix, because the Little League has already done that recently, because they didn't want to wait for this contract to be completed, and we actually have a little redundancy in my contract there. With this savings for the equipment, we could easily put it in. I didn't think it fit well in that park, quite honestly. If we want to put it in, we could. That was more when, if a tot lot's right next to a parking lot or a busy roadway, I didn't think it warranted a fence, since it's kind of in a natural setting.
Do you ever find that it's more of a, there's a catch-all where you actually put in a safety guard, then all of a sudden you're responsible for that safety guard? It doesn't work.
Well-
I've had a few claims with that where, somebody gets by a fence and all of a sudden the town's liable because the fence wasn't sufficient.
Well, there's a fence at Ocean Road.
Yeah.
So that's because it backs up to the parking lot.
The community center.
Ocean Road's a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
different than-
Right, because that park is sandwiched between a parking lot and a street.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's
still
a
in all,
tot.
there are
Is this
mothers.
a tot? Is this a tot?
Yeah, it's a
This
tot
town.
structure.
This is gonna be a top one too.
Yeah, yeah.
And there are mothers that have, again, raised the question, is it gonna be fenced in?
No, it's
Okay.
not planned to, but we can look at that as a change.
Why don't you just bring a cost estimate of how much
Yeah.
fence it in?
Yeah.
At least we can look at it. Good. Anything else? Thanks, Joe.
Thanks.
All right, so you do have in front of you, it was a proposed resolution to accept this tonight. I think we'll wait till the 14th, when the mayor comes back and we've seen the pictures and the insurance certificates and things like that, okay?
Does that
Okay.
have any effect on the start date?
No, the contractor plans on starting the first week of May. I think as long as we award it April, at the next meeting, 14th, we have ample time to execute the contracts and move forward.
We lost a lot of time with Sandy and what have you done so far on this.
Yeah, we don't wanna lose too much, we don't wanna
No.
have a lot of issues here to postpone it again.
No, we're good. This wasn't even supposed to be on the agenda. We just you were ready to talk about it, and we figured,
Jay decided to add-
yeah, if we could get it, but, so we're not behind. Thanks, Joe.